Well, good evening or good day if you're watching this on replay. I'm Dennis, and this is my live segment, my Thursday night live, where I talk about, well, news that's happening that really isn't long form video ready. So, and of course, this is, the eve of Halloween. Ah, and what about Al automatically in? Hello, how are you? Um, I and I now I have a cat, and this is going to make things much harder. But so literally, we're coming up on SEMA next week, and that's a big thing for the automotive world because that is where all the aftermarket stuff gets shown. That's going to be available for our cars next year. Uh, oh, great! Tonight is Devil's Night or Mischief Night. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm staying in. Because I don't need that type of stuff. Isn't that usually where they burn Detroit down, if I remember correctly? So, so it's been like it's an interesting week. I have a lot of car stuff coming up because in Florida, this is when it starts happening. The middle of October, all the way through March, is when we. Yep, I was right. They burned Detroit down, and so now we're deep in car stuff. So I'm kind of going nuts. So I was gonna dress up, but then I realized I didn't really have a good costume. So I'll just share the copy of my car being dressed up for Halloween. That's Timmy. Timmy was hanging out through the sunroof because why not? And so that's my Halloween costume right there. My car had lights on it, and Timmy was through the sunroof. That was Merritt's Monster Mopar show at Quaker Steak and Lube last Saturday night. Actually, I wanted to get some stuff there, but of course, things got in the way. But I did set up for a bunch of videos later on, which is gonna be really, really cool stuff. And actually, the quality would be better than actually going there. And this fleet side over here, um, phenomenal truck. And there aren't a lot of these things around. The guy did a very good job of keeping it nice. The body was straight. He repainted it. And then he redid the siding on it, and it actually still has the original 318 in it. But I mean, these are becoming hen's teeth because they disintegrated. These were made to last as long as the warranty was going to stay around. So 1 year, 2 years, and then disintegrate and have to buy a new truck. But these are phenomenal. This has like an 8-foot bed on it too. Really, really cool stuff. So yeah, uh this is so weird. Yeah, it looks like the screen names on my other my other podcast I do. The screen names are all screwed up, and I don't understand why. It has the ats in front of it, and here there is no ats in front of it. It's quite weird. Strange. I don't understand how a lot of this stuff works at times because stuff randomly changes. Honestly, it randomly changes on all these forums. And it's not because I'm over 50 that I'm saying that. It's literally it changes all the time. Yeah, I guess Jeremy Harrison won't be he's fine. He's just in a lot of pain. I don't like hearing that. Uh and let's see. That is weird because I went in today and took those numbers right off my name. I hated it. Yeah. I don't understand why they do that every once in a while where it just randomly changes. It randomly changes names, and it's just so weird where they'll throw the ad in there and it'll put all things. Oh, like, hey, it's 4339JK. How you doing? Always a good contributor. Yeah, so last week, I went to last Saturday I went to a you don't get commercials anymore? Do you have YouTube Premium? Because that's how they make money. I gotta pay for gas. Oh, that's cool. YouTube keeps changing the way everything works, and it's absolutely it's maddening for us. The people that make things to put on YouTube. It becomes like, okay, now what's going on? How do you want this? Like they wanted short videos, now they wanted really long videos, and they wanted shorter videos. It's just I don't understand it. I uh start sometimes right in the middle of a live show, they start showing us commercials. Oh dear Lord. Well, if you have YouTube Premium, you don't have that. I did it because I couldn't take it anymore. I just couldn't. So I don't know. But so last week, yeah, I drove the car over to St. Petersburg from where I live. It's a nice little 40-mile drive, beautiful, and it was coming back was even better because it was in the 60s, driving across the bridge, with the roof open. Absolutely, just that's how you want to start having your car stuff. And unfortunately, in Florida, we have 6 months of sheer hell. March to October is unpleasant. Oh, April, October. March can still be okay. April and October is very unpleasantly hot, and it makes car stuff really hard to do. So there's that. At least now we're in car season. So let's get into this. Actually, since we're in fall, this is when the auctions start really picking up, because in the rest of the world, people are looking to buy cars during this time of the year. That's why the Kissimmee show is in January is so massive, because people are either trying to get rid of cars at the beginning of the year or get a car for their collection at the beginning of the year to get it ready for their summer, like April or something like that, so they can bring it out. So this is kind of fascinating. This is only the first day of Dallas Mecum auction. And the Dallas Mecum is a good place. They'll have lots of Chryslers, and I actually usually get good value, but there was some decent stuff here. Like there was look at this Magnum RT 2006, $13,000. I mean, first of all, these cars, this is going to be a future collectible. Because it's just weird, and it was unintentional collectible. 59,000 miles on it, 5.7, original Hemi, and just a really cool looking car. Look at it, nice leather interior, and honestly, this is kind of, the cool wagon of the 2000s, because there really aren't that many wagons, and I was just like, okay, that's really cool, and so here we go, little General Lee tribute there. I know, and it's not even in orange, so it's perfect because the General Lee wasn't in Hemi orange. Yeah, the Magnum was so much cooler because it had that Nomad look to it. You know what I mean? Because this kind of was like a modern Nomad, even though it had 4 doors. It just stood out because there was nothing else like it. And it's a shame that, still, what was it, Chrysler at the time, Mercedes Chrysler, just didn't have, and then of course then it became Fiat. They just didn't have the foresight that this is going to be a good car, that it's gonna be a good car to actually, make it. It would have been fine to go against the, crossovers. Yeah, where's the flag? You're right. It's on top. There's a flag on this. It's the real, they did it right. Let's see if they actually showed a picture of the flag. No, they don't. The flag, I think it's on top. I see stars and bars. See, 4339JK, there are stars and bars upon theirs. You got to have stars and bars on a General Lee. Otherwise, it's not a General Lee. I would just buy this car just to upset people. Look at it. It even comes with a golf cart. It's done up the same way. So you can go to car shows. Now you can go around in your golf cart while you have your General Lee. Look at that. That is absolutely really, really cool. But this thing actually sold for 12,000. It's actually a deal. Literally, that is a absolute deal. 12 grand for a 2016 Charger Custom. Then here we go. Here's absolute. Look at this. A Scat Pack sedan, 392 car. This car sold for $14,000 plus the VIG. And so you're talking about less than $16,000. And yes, it has 141,000 miles on it, but it is still a 392 Scat Pack car. And if they actually did work on the engine, this car would actually be a hell of a deal. It looks like they did. It looks like they've been in there. So this actually could be a really what the hell is this? This could be oh, it has is that an air suspension in this thing? Holy crap. So this is actually that's actually a hell of a deal. Who says you can't who says you can't get a great car in an auction? I mean, I'm not a huge fan of these, but you know what? That's a lot of performance for that amount of money. Seriously, that's a lot of performance for that amount of money. No, Barbara, what it is, it's Thursday. And on Thursday, you can get deals because people were there for the older cars. And what happens is that this type of stuff, you get deals on. Look at this. Oh, I know people that would kill for this car, this truck. A 440 1978 D200 with a, oh my God, look at this thing. 60,000 miles on it. Holy mackerel. Has AC in it. Wow. Look at that. Unbelievable. This thing has AC and wow. See, there's some good stuff at this auction. I mean, this is utterly wow. This is a truck, man. This is an 8-foot bed, has a side box on it, just regular dog dish hubcaps, tow mirrors, not a scratch. I mean, I don't even think there's any rust. Doesn't look like there's any dents. I mean, I think there may be a little dent there. This is a gorgeous truck. Man, I would you put dual exhaust on this thing and literally just set up the hitch on the back. Wow, club cab. And you know what? I would replace the F-150 with this because this is utterly cool. Especially you put duals on it. My God, that thing would just be an absolute beast with that 440 be able to pull anything, even though you only get like 8 miles to the gallon. But damn, that's a hell of a deal. 10 grand. But it didn't sell. A bid goes on. But you never know if you could probably get up for 12. Holy mackerel. So what I was really looking for was do it. Yes, I know. Damn it. That's so tempting, isn't it? What is this? I saw this in an article. This is a 73 Dodge Rally. So it's a 340 car. Now the Rally could have 318 Jesus, a 318, 340, 400, 440. So it could have any engine except the slant 6. So it didn't necessarily have to come with the 340, but luckily this one did. This car is, unfortunately, it's two things I don't like on cars. It's white on white. I mean, it looks beautiful. This is an absolutely stunning car. 29,000 miles on it. Stunning car. Laser straight. And honestly, it has all the right stuff in it. It's just absolutely just perfect. It has a slapstick, has air. It has hood pins on it, which were optional. This thing absolutely is just a phenomenal looking car, and just presents so well. Even for a 73, it presents so well, and it's just really neatly done. So I'm guessing this is all original because of the mileage on this thing, which means, oh, hi, Sue M. How you doing? Oh, an Adventure 76. Hey, how you doing? Cool. I hope you enjoyed that. I think you enjoyed that last video. Cool. I'm glad you did. I had to bring up the carburation, but look at this thing. Just this car, everything about this car is just nice. AC in it. Even the cluster, nothing yellowed on it. I don't know where this car was, but my God, it is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. The only thing is that it has the cheap dash in it. It doesn't have a tack. It has where's the or clock. It has the single things and it's AM. But look, there's the white interior. White interiors just I'm just not a fan because I would just look at it and it'd be filthy. But it's just, I mean, it just presents so well. You can see it has a little bit of aging on it. You know, that's just cheap criminal, but that's slapstick. There's the 340 uh, with, I mean, obviously it's never been out of the car because the paint started to wear off, but that's the original color. I mean, this is so, wow, I think that's the original. Yeah, this is 73 cap. Good Lord. And these things always end up, these stickers were always in random places. It's different than mine. Yeah, white furniture or white interior car is a nightmare. You'd be afraid to move the car. Yeah, I literally would. It would just be dirty as soon as I touch it. It would be dirty. I just, it's just, yeah, it's just too much. It's so it looks. I mean, when it's clean, it just looks so awesome because it's just white. But it's, yeah, and this, why, my God, it still has the original steel box. That's the original. That is the original Chrysler electronic ignition box. That is an original box. Holy mackerel. Yeah, because they were just metal. Holy mackerel. I think it's still a 5-pin. Damn. Yes, white people getting white carpet at homes. Yeah, I know. And they tell you to take your shoes off. They get all upset. This is phenomenal. I can geek out on this Charger all day long because it's just, you know, it has flaws and stuff on it, and it had a new water pump. They didn't paint it and all, but I mean, this is really, really a nice time capsule. Seriously, a nice time capsule. It looks really, really nice. And it's just weird in 73 how to change the air conditioner because this hose on my car goes over here and goes around. So they had changed the condenser in the front. But this is, I mean, even has the original vent for the valve cover. That is absolutely utterly amazing. This is really a great car. And best of all, I mean, whoever got this car got it for 30 grand. $30,000 for that, for basically a museum piece. My wife wanted white carpeting in her wing of the house. Yeah, no. That's a hard no. Yeah, I know it does look good. It's just that it's so hard to keep clean because a white exterior. I mean, as soon as you drive by, you know, if there's just a breeze, it brings dust on the car. It looks, it just looks brown. Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Rick James and that's right. That was Charlie Murphy telling the story about Rick James coming over and kicking on the brand new white couch. One of my favorite skits. Oh my goodness. So yeah, this was so far in this auction, this was like one of the best things I saw. And I was shocked that this car went on Thursday because it is so nice, and it's still a Charger that I was kind of shocked that it actually went on a Thursday. You know, I'd figure this car would be a Friday or even a Saturday car just because it's so original and it's a performance version of a Charger. So it was really strange on how they set this up. And it's kind of a shame. I mean, they got a decent amount of money on it, but they probably should have gotten more just because the car is so perfect. I mean, seriously, it has the light package too because it has the turn signals on the hood. It's just, I mean, just utterly a beautiful car, and just weird. That's what really drove me in to go look at this auction. Yeah, and it's just so strange. Drive it fast and the dust goes away. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I wish that worked that way. But look, I mean, but this is weird. This Duster 70 Dart Swinger 360 car. So it has the wrong engine in it. And it went for $25,000 as an A-body. I mean, it's really nice, but I mean, it's an A-body with the wrong engine in it. I mean, no air conditioning. It's done well though. I mean, that really is done well. It's manual brakes, manual steering. Whew. You got to be a He-Man to drive this car. I mean, it's really presents nice, but wow, to almost be in the same price as that Charger is pretty mind-numbing if you think about it. But somebody's looking for it, they're going to have a bidding war and they'll drive the price up. That's how it works. I like a white exterior on a car because it hides the dirt compared to black cars, but I never want an interior. No, outside of white cars can look pretty nasty. You can see the dirt. My color car, the tan, absolutely the best color in the world because you can barely tell when it's dirty. It's great. So yeah, so this has been an interesting. Oh wow, look at this. This was a hell of a deal. A Shelby Dakota pickup. And I actually did a thing on the Survivor tent. There aren't that many of them. There was only 1,500 with the 4-speed. 10.4. This is a hell of a deal. Has 160. The mileage doesn't matter. This is a rare truck. Wow, somebody got a hell of a deal. Wow, last of the Shelbys built in California. Wow, it's short. It's not a limited slip. It's a short grip. It's a Chrysler product. Look at that, though. There was some great stuff on this Friday, and yet, there's more to come this weekend. So we'll probably talk about this auction next week because there's a lot of stuff that's going to be going out there. And I think the Super B's. This is the second time it's gone for sale. We're going to take a look at this because this is the one that they did all the modifications on, and it's that car. Yeah, we talked about this car before that didn't sell, and we're going to bring this up next week. Because I bet it won't sell again. I mean, they had to sell the car. They had to undo all the damage, and of course, I want to talk about this one. So these are all going to be These are Saturday cars. So we'll be talking about this next week. We have auction stuff to talk about. It's really got a lot of Chargers, cool stuff. So yeah, so that was kind of, is the spoiler correct on that Swinger? Yeah, and 70, yes, you could have on a Dart Swinger, you could have the Go Wing in 70 because that was the first year that actually happened. Was it right for that car? I don't know. They don't have a picture of the tag. Yeah. So yeah, the Dakota was made in a vert. Yes, and there used to be one that came to the Gartlett show I'm going to this weekend, and I haven't seen it in a while. Those are extremely rare. Extremely rare. I think that was. Oh, actually, that's what was at the Survivor tent. Was one of those convertibles, and there are just not a lot of them around. And Swinger, yes, Dart Swinger. Yeah, Swinger can have that. So yeah, that convertible, the convertible Dakota, they're like hen's teeth. And there was one, and when I did my Survivor's tent walk around, there was one in there, and it was amazing. Original Viper, 1994 Viper, no reserve. Good Lord. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming this weekend. So we're going to talk about this auction next week because there's a lot of stuff going on there. And that's kind of cool. So yeah, so at least now we're starting to get into the whole car thing. So now we have auction stuff to talk to, and we have SEMA coming up, and I can't wait to talk about that because it's really kind of thing. But I saw this. There's a new V8 coming out. I wish I was kidding. No, there's a new V8. It's from Toyota. What about Dennis? You need to buy something at these auctions for those prices. The only way I could buy something is that I'd be flipping it immediately. I don't have any room. I'm out of room. I'm so out of room. It's not even funny. Until I can move, I can't do things like that. Yes, you could have had Yes, Barbara, you could have had a V8. Toyota is going to build a new V8, and they'll put it in Lexus, and they'll probably put it in one of their high performance cars. And let's not forget that Toyota in their Tundra had a 5.4 that was a race car engine. That truck engine was absolutely a monster, and it was also indestructible. But the thing is, it was thirsty, and that was the one thing against that V8 they made. But it'd get like 10. But honestly, it was probably one of the best made V8s ever. You couldn't destroy it. And Chrysler isn't announcing. No, Chrysler. Stellantis has not announced the new V8 to replace the Hemi, the ancient Hemi. There's no announcement. Ford just keeps on building Coyotes, and that's fine. General Motors is actually making new V8s also, and now is Toyota, and they're going to build one for their Lexus, and they're probably going to put it in a high performance version. Maybe I could have a V8 with a more gentle character, or we can make a more muscular, heavy duty version. So that means they're going to do two versions. One's going to be the Lexus, and the other one is probably going to be some sort of like high performance, maybe GTR competitor, because it's really at the time where V8s are the way to go. And honestly, this nonsense that they tried for the last 6-7 years is over. See, BMW, Mercedes is going to make the 12 still. BMW is making another 8, and Porsche is going to have V8s too. So I mean, there's a whole thing, but unfortunately, in America, storage units rent isn't cheap. No, I can't afford that. So you have climate. Yeah, they're for something big enough for a car. You're talking $250 a month, $300 a month. I mean, it's a lot of money to just to stick stuff in. It really is. I mean, yeah, I actually need to build my barn dominium. Hopefully that time will be coming in a not the distant future. I hope. I've been saying prayers. Because honestly, that's what I need. And I would do something like that, especially I could buy something that cheap, and I would easily, like that truck, I could easily make $4 or $5 grand on it, especially down here. I mean, people want those trucks down here. It's a big deal. If I had a Cummins in it, I would have a line. And so it's absolutely just crazy. And so I'm just brought this up because I'm going to the show that's named it after this man, Big Daddy Don Gartlitz. If you don't know who Big Daddy Don Gartlitz is, he is Mr. Mopar. He grew up in Tampa, and he drag raced when it was dangerous. He blew off part of his foot. He burnt both his arms to 3rd-degree burns, and he has no hearing anymore. He's also 94 years old. That's him now. He bikes 20 miles a day, so you have to be a tough bastard to be a drag racer, especially back then, and he is. So he has his show up at his place, but they're honoring him with finally they're honoring him with an award, Lifetime Achievement Award at 94 years old, I think. It's just it's really amazing. So he's going to be at the show this weekend and then fly out to Las Vegas to be at SEMA, where he's going to get awarded this award by the NHRA, and then he's going to sign autographs. So I know Sue M and Mr. M are going to be going to there, so you can go meet Don Gartlitz. He can't hear a damn thing, but he's an ordinary guy. But he did things that were just unbelievable. He's the guy that invented the rear engine dragster, because the front engine dragster almost killed him. So he designed that, and all his dragsters were named Swamp Rat, because he grew up in Tampa by the swamps. So that's what he did. And honestly, it's really cool that he has a museum in Ocala, and it's a museum of drag racing. And literally, it's not just drag racing stuff, which is phenomenal. There's 2 buildings. Then there's also collector cars from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. He even has an FBI Coronet Hemi car that I think Uncle Tony had seen down there, and he did a video on. That car is there. There's a lot of neat stuff inside of Gartlitz's museum in Ocala, Florida. It's actually Bellevue, but we'll just say Ocala, make it easy. And so I mean, honestly, if you're ever in Florida, go to this guy's museum. It's not that expensive, and if you like cars, there literally is tons of stuff there. And I'm just going there this weekend for a show, And maybe I'll get some video of Don's garage, which is outside, where they have some dragsters in there. It's actually really cool. Hey, it's Gary Action. Hey, Gary, talking about Don Gartlett's, because I'm going up to his show this weekend, and he's getting an award next week. So it's kind of cool. Ed, you always wanted to visit that museum, Ed Rooney? Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. And, Don may be wandering around. I mean, and he still drives, 94 years old, still drives fast because he doesn't know any other way to drive. And, he'll go out there and he'll start up start He still rebuilds things. It's absolutely amazing. So, he's the last, he was that generation that, when they raced, it was dangerous. So it's really cool to see him getting an award, and hopefully I'll be able to get some decent stuff from his show. Because it's such a neat weekend. There's all show cars, but then you also have the museum and Don's garage there, and Don. 94. Well, I mean, he's ornery. He's always been that way, so that makes you live longer. Mr. Dangles built the first flying stagecoach. Jesus. They just don't stop. I love the comments to keep me going. So that is my weekend. I'll be going there, and hopefully I'll be getting some good stuff from that. And the weather's supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be like 70 on Saturday, 75 on Sunday. I'm so happy. Barbara DeRush. I saw Tony Stewart at drag racing going, I think you mean 333 miles an hour. I was shocked when I saw the video. I didn't know and that's in 1,000 feet. That's not even in a quarter mile anymore. It's 1,000 feet. They had to cut the distance down because they were going to go faster. In the extra 200 feet, he could have gotten up to like 370 miles an hour, which is psychotic. I mean, you're already pulling, what is it, almost 5 Gs at the launch? I mean, seriously. And then you're almost pulling 5 Gs stopping because you have the 2 parachutes and whatever little brakes you have to try to stop so you don't go through the end of the drag strip. Yeah. She's right. Tony drove past me at the speed of light. I didn't see him, of course. So, let's get into my favorite subject, Stellantis, because why not? Why not? It's Stellantis time, because Stellantis. So everybody and before I get into this, there have been a couple other channels, and I respect these guys, the Butter Insider, and oh my God, my mind's going blank, and I'm brain dead tonight. But they've been going and they've been talking a lot about Stellantis coming out this year with the Hemi Charger. There's gonna be a Hemi Cuda, and TK's garage. I respect these guys. They have very good information, but what happens is I think Stellantis may be gaslighting them, because Stellantis in their investment report for that's saying $13 billion, there was no talk of a V8, no new V8, no replacement for the Hemi, no upgrade to the Hemi, no mention of the word Hemi, and it was a long press release, and it's $13 billion they're throwing into the U.S. market. I know they're building a large SUV, but that's going to be on the Grand Wagoneer platform, which already just uses an inline 6. So I don't know. So here, everybody was expecting this and that at SEMA, and I have searched high and low for news, any news on SEMA, and this is all I'm getting. So Mopar debuts colorful Ram 1500 and Dodge Charger concepts at SEMA. Now, Charger concept. The No, it's just this. It's just the inline six. So they're gonna have a Hemi powered Ram 1500. The Dude. Now, if everybody remembers the Dude, this is not the dude from The Big Lebowski. This is the dude from 1970, and I'll talk about in a minute. Dodge trucks of the 70s actually was only 2 years, while the Striker Purple. Why not just plum crazy? 2026 Charger highlights the Mopar add-ons. So the Hemi-powered Ram 1500 Bighorn Sublime with vintage-inspired C-stripes and Dude shout-out on bedsides. So, and then the Charger 6-pack, not V8, is powered by the 550 horsepower 3-liter 6 with Mopar cold air intake and catback stainless steel dual exhaust system. The Charger concept sports vented fenders, strobe body graphics, and lowered suspension of 5-spoke 21-inch brass monkey wheels. So at the SEMA show, it means a smorgasbord of concepts and customs from new builders and established OEMs. The latter bring 2 new concepts from Mopar. The aftermarket parts arm from Stellantis products. The Mopar booth features several cool builds, including a race-winning 87 Dodge D150 with a 6-cylinder Huracan and driven in Morgan Evans. Several Jeep concepts, System Moab Easter Jeep Safari, but a new concept, Ram 1500 and the 2026 gas-powered Dodge Charger, which they say is exactly, yuck. Which they say is available to order, and if you go on their website, there is no availability to order. You can't order a 6-pack yet. Nor can I find a 4-door electric appliance charger. I mean, that starts at $70,000, but I still can't find one. So here's the dude striping. While Big Lebowski themed truck would be killer, it isn't. The Dude is Ram, throwback to a truck introduced in '69 for 70 Dodge swept line pickup. The Dodge Dude sport trim added a bold C-stripe down the side of the D100 half-ton, a contrast to roof coating, and some Dude themed logos. Well, so here is the last time they did. What is this on the bottom? Go away. That ain't it. Here it is. This is the last time they introduced the Dude. This is the Dude from 2004. So this isn't the first time. Hey, I love Sublime. I would love a green car like that. So here's the Dude that they introduced in 21 years ago. So they've already run out with the name Dude concept truck. This was actually built on a Durango, which is strange. And then they cut it off, made a bed in the back. But here is the original Dude. It only lasted 2 years, and there it is. It was Don Knotts was the spokesman for the Dude. And yes, that is Barney Fife. Barney Fife was the spokesman for the Dude. Now, the Dude was a stripe package, could be had with any exterior paint and interior trim colors. And literally, you could have 15-inch hubcaps. It could have any engine in it. You know, it has the 225, the 318, or 383, and it did so well. They built 1,000 of them. That's it. 1771, they built 1,000 of these pickup trucks. So it really didn't do well back then. So here is Stellantis once again trying to bring memory berries to like make you think their cars are okay or cool. Barbara DeRush, younger people know him as Mr. Farley. Dead people know him as Barney Fife. Yeah, I know. I mean, they still play the Andy Griffith Show everywhere, so you see Barney Fife. But yeah, he was great as Mr. Farley in Three's Company. But he was the spokesman. And honestly, so they're building on something that didn't sell very well. In fact, I have never seen a Dude in my entire life. I have never seen a Dude truck in my entire life. And I've gone to Carlisle. And this is the old days, you know, when stuff wasn't even that old. And I never saw a Dude pickup truck there, ever. So here's the Dude. It's really just just a sticker package on a 1500, and here is the Scat 6-pack Charger concept. So they put some annoying striping on there. They put a little vent on there as a callback to the early Chargers. They put a little wing on the back of it. They put some really ugly seats, racing seats in there. Big orange calipers because it makes you go faster. Providing a Mardi Gras contrast to the bright green of the Ram concept, the 6-pack is painted striker purple. Oh, why not plum crazy? With a satin carbon hood, splitter, and rear spoiler. The strobe sticker Charger sits 1 inch lower than stock, thanks to Mopar spring kit. Wide vented fenders hustle air of the wheel wells, which are well stuffed with 21-inch, good lord, 5-spoke, 11-inch wide brass monkey wheels. Orange Brembo brake calipers peek out through the spokes. Bold colors to the interior. Mood lighting that matches its paint color. It has catskin leather and purple and orange stitching. Special pedal covers, floor mats, and cargo mat finish off the additions. Of course, we don't get pictures of those. But yeah, this is their, and honestly, if this is what they're bringing. This is their concepts. This is what Stellantis is bringing. Memory berries. I mean, that's all this is. There is, and it's kind of sad. I saw another YouTuber talk about a 4-cylinder Huracan. Should we be bragging about that? No, but it's going to be a reality. In that $13 billion investment, they brought up that engine. So that is a reality. Anything Hemi is not a reality. I mean, look, they even screwed up the relaunch of the Hemi pickup trucks. They actually screwed it up. They didn't give you a base Hemi. They gave you a Hemi with the electric motor on it, which is actually kind of the power torque or whatever the hell they call it. It's I don't understand what they're doing, and they're doing nothing to support the old cars. I mean, there will not be a Mopar Performance trailer or tent or anything at Gartlett's. There wasn't one at Moparty. They literally were not there. There was nothing there from Stellantis. They provided, the dealership provided some new Ram 1500s for the shuttle, and that was it. It is not good. Can you buy those at SEMA? No, you could see them though. They're there. You can look at them in all their glory. You could ask if their V8 is coming. They won't tell you because I don't know. I don't. We get very mixed messages at this point from Stellantis about their commitment to the American market, and it's actually getting kind of worrying to be, as an old car owner, because now there's just less and less of them. Less and less stuff being made by them, and they aren't licensing really a lot of things, which is sucky. But it's just really, and there's no commitment to making a vehicle that the classic owner wants. I mean, it is kind of crazy because, the F-150, I imagine, from what I've seen, is like the 302, the Coyote, whatever the hell it is, the 5-liter. That's the engine of choice in that truck. Literally is the engine of choice in that truck. And they sell a lot of F-150s, and they sell a lot of those Coyotes. And same thing with General Motors. That's 6.2, and what is it, the 5.7? They sell tons of those trucks. I mean, that is literally a whole thing. Yeah, eTorque. Glad I didn't buy it. Bought a 7.3 Godzilla and said, yeah, you made the much better choice. That 7.3 Godzilla will be running long after that eTorque is dead. And you kind of dodged a bullet, because on the eTorque, if that electric motor dies, which it will, because it's an electric motor, you're looking at months to get it replaced, because they don't stock them. They order them from the manufacturer and have them shipped in. So it has to be built for you. So if they can't fix it, if it's toasted, which it will be, because it's a high voltage electric motor. 5.3. I'm sorry. I knew it was somewhere in the fives. I don't follow General Motors that much, but I know they sell a hell of a lot of those motors. They sell a lot of V8s. I mean, I see so many of their SUVs, that larger size SUV, like the Denali and whatnot. I mean, so many of them around where I live, and they're V8 powered. Those are not sixes, and those are V8s. So yeah, 5.7 is a 350. I know. Yes, the Gary Axon, the eTorque does have a battery behind the seat, and a controller and all sorts of electronics, and that goes bad too on them. It's a 48. I think it's a 48-volt system. So it's like it's just not it's not a great idea. I mean, if the only one I like is the Power Torque, the Power Torque from Ford on the F-150, because they put the electric motor in between the engine and the transmission where it should be, because now it gives its torque to help the engine up front. And actually, when you run the engine, you can use the electric motor to then become a generator, because if it's not powering, it's just spinning, it will send an electric current. And you could do 7,200 watts. So you could power a house with that thing. And it makes so much more sense because it actually is a usable product. So it's kind of yes, you do make me laugh. If I don't read your comment, it's don't worry, I already giggled when I saw it. Yeah, battery behind. Yeah, it's underneath the back seat on the Ram pickup, like this Ram pickup. It's back here underneath the back seat, and it's a pretty good size lithium-ion battery, which means it can catch on fire, and that would be bad. But it also has a lot of extra electronics in there, which is why I really don't like those types of cars, because they're over. If you're going to, like, my truck's 10 years old, almost 10 years old, and it's 9. It's coming up on 10. The 26s are out. So yeah, it's pretty close to 10. And, it has a regular drivetrain in it. If it had a hybrid system, I don't know if I would have it this long, because a lot of things can go wrong with electronic controllers, and that's why I'm not a big fan of them. It's just another, I mean, it's the way I am with everything. I don't like to have things extra complicated. The more simple something can be, the happier I am with it, because I don't like things getting overcomplicated. That's why I didn't do a lot of things on my Charger or even on my BMWs, because it didn't make any sense, because it would just make things more complex. Like, I did put rear disc brakes on my Charger, because now you're adding complexity to a simple car. It has rear drums. They're perfectly fine. You don't have to touch them for years. I mean, seriously, if you set them up once right, they work forever. And, but having all this extra electronics, it's just not great. And, Suam, what year was that? It was like 2018 or something like that. I think that's when they started them. I think the dealer said it only helps when you take off. Yeah, because it has a giant belt that goes to the crankshaft. So honestly, it doesn't give you any. It can't really give you any power while the engine's rolling, because it would have to match the engine speed. So from a dead stop, it can bring it up. It can help bring the RPMs up. But if you're cruising at 2,000 RPM, I don't think it could spin fast enough with that giant belt to give you 5,000 RPM. I haven't really thought about the way it works, but if it only helps on takeoff, that's probably why, because it has a giant belt that goes to the bottom of crankshaft, which also is now putting real upward pressure on that crank. So that's another little issue I have with it, because it's putting a lot of pressure on that front bearing on the crankshaft, and that is really not a great thing. And honestly, it's just a silly thing. That's the one thing I'll give General Motors credit for. They never did anything that stupid. I mean, General Motors does really bad things at times, but with their V8s, they never went. They did the cylinder deactivation, which you can override, but they never did these electric add-ons to it, which made it more complicated. And I think that's why they sell so many of them. Let's see, Ed Rooney. I started a fire in a Volkswagen Bug from sitting in the back seat and shorting out the battery against the seat springs. Oh dear God. Don't worry. Ram is really good at making future failures, and I can't wait for them to have to pay up on that 100,000-mile warranty, the 10-year 100,000-mile warranty on that powertrain. Because I'm sorry, but if you think they're going to pay a warranty claim in 8 years, they're going to find a way not to pay you. I'm dead serious. They're going to find a way not to pay you. They're going to go, oh, you did this to it, you did that to it. I mean, if you towed something with it, they may tell you you abused it. And that's what scares me about the way when they went to that long warranty. It's because remember the last time a warranty like that happened where it was exceptionally long was Chrysler in the early 80s to make people buy their cars. Lee Iacocca did that. That was the 5 years, 60,000 miles. That was Lee Iacocca that put that on his horrible cars. And they just were good enough that they didn't have to, go under fixing those cars, and they lasted through the 60,000 miles. But I mean, 100,000, you're asking a lot for a Stellantis vehicle to go 100,000 miles. Like that V8, if you let it idle a lot, that motor may not make 100,000 miles. The lifters are going to eat the cam. And are they going to say you didn't change the oil enough? I mean, we're really looking at, we're really looking at, they're going to look for ways not to pay it. And that's the only way I can see them surviving, because warranty work can kill a company. I mean, seriously, look at General Motors now, how they're getting hammered with that the 6.2. They're getting absolutely destroyed with that. And it's all warranty work. And, there's no money. It's just goodwill for the company. The dealerships do okay because they get paid by General Motors, and the mechanics get paid a scale for that. But the company itself, it's a goodwill thing. And, you can get really killed if you make something that isn't very good and it has a long warranty. You can lose millions, tens of millions easily. And Stellantis makes stuff that's that bad. And I just can't imagine, especially in the Rams. Every Ram I've ever been in always had some sort of real problem with it. Usually the air conditioning controllers go bad. It's the blend door. It just breaks. And that's basically an all-day job to fix. The center stacks on these Rams are very susceptible to going bad. For some reason, they just go bad. And it controls everything. It controls the air conditioning. There's no duplicate buttons. So if that panel goes bad, you have nothing. So it's really, yeah. And I honestly, Stellantis may not be around in 10 years. Yeah, that's a serious conversation. I mean, that's a conversation that really should be had, because when Tavares came out last week, and I talked about it like, somebody turned a rock over and he crawled out. But he's actually right. I don't see this company being a company in 10 years. I don't even see this company being a company in 5 years. They can't. The two dynamics that work for them. One is in Europe, which has ridiculous laws and regulations on cars, which are being broken because the manufacturer said enough. But even so, it's still not the same product line you could have in North America. And they're actually servicing their European part of their company so much better than the American company. and no amount of investment in the next couple of years is really going to fix it, because unless they change their mindset, there is no way that you're going to actually be able to be successful in the United States. Like, they still have not figured out that you should probably go to the people that buy your old cars and be nice to them. Make them some product. Make them something for their old car, not just some sort of crate engine. Actually help get those cars restored, because those cars end up being passed on, or like if anything, see, Mike, I have a daughter. She's going to have to buy a car soon. She will never buy a Chrysler product. She hears me talking about them. She literally knows. I just honestly see that as like, they lost a potential buyer. And how many other potential buyers have they lost because they didn't support any of the old stuff? It really is kind of amazing. Let's see. Kernersville Dodge in North Carolina had a lot of 2022 Rams with Black Widow packages left over from the pandemic. 2-year-old trucks by this time, and they still wanted $60,000. Oh my God. Yeah, I saw a lot of that. Actually, if you look now on their lots, they list 2024 Hornets and 2024 Chargers. There are still Charger appliances from 2024 laying on lots. Even the 2025s, they were built almost a year ago, because they stopped production of most of the the low performance version at the almost in like March or April. I mean, it stopped a while ago, and then they've stopped all production on them now for a couple of months. So literally none of those cars are brand new. And the 2026, I have yet to see anybody actually, be able to show me an order slip or anything for the 4-door appliance, which is coming out before the 6-pack, which I don't even grasp. And in the 6-pack, I have no idea. I haven't heard the delivery date yet, and we're in October. So, I mean, we're almost in November, and there's no delivery date yet. So, and this 4-door allegedly middle of summer next year, which is pointless. So, let's see. Tavares is greater than you too. Yes. Let's see. Till Dodge starts buying quality parts and wiring harnesses, they'll still be junk. Raccoon Man 60. Yes. Actually, I didn't pull the article, but there is a lawsuit in Michigan between Stellantis and their suppliers, because they literally put the screws to their suppliers. I mean, they basically, they're so cash poor after this merger that they went to their suppliers and basically told them to cut thousands out of orders, but deliver the same thing. They're renegotiating prices with them, and there's a big lawsuit in Michigan, and Stellantis is probably going to lose, because they actually reneged on deals. So, I mean, when you go buy the cheapest product, yes, you will make a cheap car. You can charge a lot for it, but it's still a cheap car in the end. So, I mean, I don't get it. Yes, Sue M, she has a BMW. It's her first car, but eventually she's going to replace it one day. Yes, she has a BMW convertible, and we've been driving around with the top down because it's been nice out. Today she had to drive to work, and it was 64 degrees outside, had the top down when the sun in Florida was just gorgeous. Utterly gorgeous. No air conditioning on. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. No, the intrepid assistant would not love a Nissan Leaf. No, she wouldn't. If my dad is Dennis, I'm backing up the Brinks truck to a fresh Benz. Keep packing it. Keep packing it. Gary Axon. Dennis, what are your thoughts about the car industry in general? Okay, I think, I'll take these all one by one. I think the repair business is still recovering from Obama's cash for clunkers, pandemic, suppliers, Amazon. All right. So let me take this in parts. The car industry. The OEMs are in trouble. All your major manufacturers, except Toyota, are in trouble because they wasted a lot of money on electric appliances. And by doing that, they kind of lost development on products people would want. Like Stellantis, they don't have they don't have a midsize, a new midsize SUV. They have the Durango, which is older than my daughter. And honestly, um, the Ford made a lot of mistakes with they've lost billions on electric appliances. That could have been spent on cars. General Motors has their own problems because, well, they spent a lot of money on electric appliances, didn't put anything out, and now they're losing $2 billion or something like that because they're just stopping it. BMW shot themselves in the foot and basically destroyed their lineup because they were trying to appease the European overlords. Mercedes did the same thing. I mean, Porsche, Volkswagen Group is a mess because they got rid of their useful diesels and now they just have, you know, 4-cylinder cars and a lot of stuff people don't want. It's really the OEMs are a mess. The aftermarket is a complete disaster. Used car market has never recovered from cash for clunkers. That's why 20-year-old cars are now, $5,000. Seriously, and you go look for a decent 20-year-old car, 2005, it'll be $5,000. I'm talking everything works on it, has air conditioning, and is in decent shape, and only 10,000 miles a year at most. And you're looking at $5,000. The actual aftermarket parts, with First Brands going bankrupt, that is going to be bad. We're going to have a massive problem now with First Brands being bankrupt. They had so many different businesses under their umbrella that literally to try to make up what they've lost, what's lost in supply, the other companies can't. I don't think they have the capacity. I don't think they have the ability to tool up. I mean, we're going to basically lose Fram filters. I mean, they are garbage. I would never use one, but a lot of people do. And that's a lot of filters. In fact, Advance Auto, that's one of their main filters that they carry in store. And Advance is one of these companies that they were already having problems. Now they're going to lose one of their main suppliers because this bankruptcy is going to be ugly and long. And trying to break up that company is going to be an absolute mess. Amazon is a major player now just because these companies have screwed around. I'll admit it. I order stuff from Amazon because I literally can't get the part at my local parts store, or I have to order it and wait for it. I said I might as well order it and get it in 2 days. And if I have a problem, I can immediately send it back. So it's getting very ugly at this point, and I'm kind of concerned. I'm kind of concerned that we're going to have shortages, and we're probably going to have price spikes that are going to be mind-numbing. I can see it, especially with all the new cars people are holding on to. Those cars are going to get really expensive to fix, and independent shops are going to be doing well if they know how to work on them and have the patience because they suck to work on, but they're going to have a problem getting parts. And that's a real thing because like we have and to finish this off, we have a Bronco. It has the Bilstein shocks in it. And honestly, they can't get the parts. I mean, these are Bilsteins, but they can't get the parts to fix the truck. And what happens? They blow up, and the reservoir lets go, and they just literally leak all the fluid out. They stop working, and you have basically a vehicle that doesn't drive right. So yeah, this has gotten ugly. So yeah, it's not pretty. And if the policies that our government, where it's a little more laissez-faire, continue, we have a chance for it to get better. But if it changes back to the way it was, the car industry and us as people that actually need to get around, it's going to get ugly. And I'm not looking forward to that. So that's just my thoughts on it. Let's see. Ed Rooney, imagine your daughter comes home with a Nissan. Every father's third worst nightmare. Absolutely. I hate Nissans. I really do. Raccoon Man 60. The wiring harness is so poor that I cannot carry the data at the high impedance. Oh my God. Jesus. Wow. Oh, G Cannon. Hi. How you doing? How you doing? So, are you envious of the sunshine? Yes. This is why I live here and enjoy living on the sun for 6 months. So I had this 6 months of beauty. Uh, let's see. Do 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 do. So I'm just going through the comments now. Wix raccoon, yeah, raccoon. Wix filters only. That's all I use in mine. Though and it's really weird. The K&N oil filter, phenomenal. It actually has been tested as good as a Wix. I couldn't believe it. I've used it. I used it on my BMW, and honestly, I didn't see any more. I didn't seem to have any oil pressure problems. I didn't see any more, because you get a little bit of metal on the on the on the bolt, on the oil plug. It was the same amount, maybe a little less. It actually worked quite well. But yeah, Wix is what I just buy. Whenever Napa has a sale, I just stock up. That's the air filters I use. Helpful tip: don't waste your money on a K&N. Buy a Wix Gold air filter for your car. It flows better than stock, but it still actually stops dirt. I use it in my F-150. It's actually phenomenal. Uh, let's see. Gary Axon. Young people are not becoming mechanics, contrary to what they say. No young guy is going to a Snap-on truck and spending $60,000 to make 16 an hour to start. No, even though my daughter's school had a mechanics program, and it actually was very, very popular. But what's happening? These guys are going to car dealerships first, and you get your experience there at the car dealership, so you don't have to buy all your stuff. But yeah, I mean, the Snap-on is so proud of their stuff, and honestly, the gap between Snap-on and even the high-end stuff at Harbor Freight isn't that big anymore. I really wouldn't be worried if I bought an Icon tool set. I honestly wouldn't go, yeah, wow, it's a piece of junk. No, it's like for a third of the price, and they do warranty it. Yeah, I actually would do and use that. I mean, I actually, for regular jobs, I use a regular torque wrench from Harbor Freight. I've tested it. You can easily test torque wrenches because you you set the thing and you pull on it, and it tells you how much pressure, and there's videos on how to do it, and it actually torqued out fine. So I mean, it's I just they're going to have to be there, and they're going to be. It's lucrative. I mean, if you can do the work, it's lucrative. But they are. I think they're going to start and do apprenticeships at dealerships first. Oh yes, gee, Canada hype Dennis's videos for Blue Jays win. Sure, whatever it takes. Let's see. Yeah, Mr. M, give me a straight 6 any day. Yeah, a regular straight 6, no turbos, absolutely all day long, unless it's a B58. A B58 is the greatest turbo 6 ever built. BMW made the perfect engine. Of course they did. I mean, that's why I always call the new Huracan the food stamp B58, because it is food stamp B58. Let's see. Of course, 2 diesel. Larry uses Caterpillar oil filters in his trucks. I imagine I would almost bet if you look, they were probably made by Wix. Wix makes all the high end. I mean, they make their own, but they make Napas. I mean, they do make for others, and it's usually the higher end. And it's just in the pleating, it's the reinforcement, it's the anti flowback. They use higher quality products and a better case. So in Canada, mechanics are starting at $70K base per around here. No need for Snap-on anymore. That's Canadian dollars. So what's that in real money? It's Canadian 70,000 Canadian pesos. Still, that's not bad money. And yeah, you still have to, but you still have to go to a Snap-on truck. And I loved in the summertime when I worked at the gas station. He would come on the hottest day of the year because he damn well knew he had the best air conditioning at all in his truck. I mean, it would be 60 inside that truck. And man, you're ready to buy. I mean, you bought stuff you didn't even need because damn, he had cold air. Ed Rooney, a lot of young mechanics are using Icon and Gear Wrench. Yeah. I mean, I find no fault as a home mechanic. I find no fault in just the regular stuff from Harbor Freight. I've yet to break anything. And I'm rough. I've yet to break anything. And so it's like, honestly, it's not I even got a free standard wrench set. I bring that when I go to Moparty and whatnot as my wrenches, because it has, from 5/16 to 11/16 on there. So it has all the things nice and neat. I've pounded on them. I've hit them. I've used them. You were prying, and I haven't broke them yet. And I'm like, so I mean, it's just the gap is gone, man. Raccoon Man 60, Snap-on priced themselves out of normal reason. Yes, they have. Snap-on is just. I've seen the prices of their stuff, and I'm like, what for? Is it made out of gold? I mean, they have ratchets that are $300. I'm like, okay, I can go to a garage sale. If you go to a garage sale and you find a Craftsman ratchet from the 1970s, it will be better than that Snap-on. Especially the ones that you can lube. I actually have some of them, and I'll never get rid of them. I'll have them in my coffin if I have to. You can lubricate them. They have a little lubricating thing. You lubricate the thing so it keeps the ball bearings absolutely smooth as silk. Wix doesn't make Napa anymore. Oh, no. Now you're breaking my heart. Crap. Mr. M, surprising how many people still go to dealerships after the war. Yes, because they don't know any better. They really don't. And they don't realize they're getting ripped off. And that's the really sad part. True story. I had a problem with my right front brake on my F-150. And I brought it in. It's still under warranty, so I brought it in. If it wasn't warranty, this would never happen. I brought it in, and I literally, to me, it felt like the caliper was not right. And they did it, and they told me to hose, and then the hose wasn't covered. And so for the two front hoses and to flush it, it was $450. And my right rear brake somehow or the other wore out faster than my left rear brake. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll find out later. They wanted to charge me $900 to do rear disc brakes on an F-150. Yeah, that's what they wanted to do. And I went, I'll just go fix it myself. So $154 at advance with my discount. They get a little coupon code because you got to clip a coupon code in advance. Otherwise, you're getting ripped off. I fixed it all myself. I did it in 3 hours. I took my time. I bled out the rear brake because I have that. I did a video. Maybe I'll put it in after this. I did a video on a pressure bleeder I bought for doing the clutch on the E36. And actually, Ford and BMW use the same cap. So there's that. So that fits everything I own except the charger, but charger doesn't have regular fluid in it. So, long story short, I did all this work that would have cost me $1,000 for $150. Wasn't that hard because I have a compressor, I have all the tools, and but I just can't justify that. But a lot of people can't, don't have that ability, but you got to find a local guy. My mom found the local guy that works out of his garage. He was a mechanic, and he's actually good. Other people recommend him. I'm helping a guy that has a BMW, a 2013 535. He found somebody, and this guy, supposedly an ex-BMW mechanic, he screwed up the Valvetronic. He literally screwed the Valvetronic up. The car is, I actually can't even get the computer to talk anymore. Yeah, so it's not pretty. Yeah. Let's see. G Cannon, not in New Jersey. A kid is lucky to start at 20 per hour. It's hard to be funny texting, but no self-respecting mechanic would use Harbor Freight. Actually, no. Actually, a lot of them do. I will stand by my Harbor Freight. I have my Bauer power tools. I will put them against anything. Honestly, I will. I will put my Bauer half-inch impact against any other impact. It I have a compact one, and it still can take the lug nuts off my charger. And they're at 85 foot-pounds. It takes them off. And the batteries last. I only have 5 amp batteries, and they last forever. I did that whole job on the E36, the clutch. I did it with one battery. What I didn't even I didn't have to switch. So their stuff is not junk anymore. The Chinese really have figured out they can't make garbage, and they listen to these companies to make better things. Their stuff is much better than it was before, and I absolutely will stand by it. I that's what I have been buying lately because I'm not going to buy Craftsman anymore because it is garbage. It's at Lowe's. They don't stand behind it. Lowe's does not stand behind anything. Anybody that sells Craftsman right now will not stand behind it. Good luck trying to get that fixed. And honestly, most of the stuff's going to be made in China. At least go to the company that has a direct relationship with them and actually has their face to the public to basically lay some pressure on that company. Because I even have their mini jack, their little aluminum race jack, and you know what? That thing's always worked for me. Always has worked for me. So, yeah. Who knew you had to bring wrenches to Moe's party? Yes, you do. Kiss stuff breaks. I have a Craftsman rack. It's back for the 50s and Snap-on from the early 40s. Yeah, you have the stuff that's indestructible. The ratchets, yeah. Those are indestructible, and they're rebuildable. I broke a Harbor Freight torque wrench. So, no, I've never broken mine. I have used the half-inch for 120 foot-pounds. I think that's what the top of it is, like 110. Whatever the max was, I used it. Fine. That's what I redid my intake manifold belts with. I did it with that. The 3/8. It was fine. I even have the 1/4-inch one, and that works fine. I've never had an issue with any of their products. The 1/4-inch, yeah, I use it all the time. I really, seriously. Yeah, exactly. How do you break a 1/4-inch torque wrench? It's only inch pounds. I mean, literally, that's inch pounds. Milwaukee's nice, but it's I can't justify the price. I really can't. I can buy 3 extra packs of batteries with my ratchet, my electric ratchet for the price of one Milwaukee and one battery. I can't justify it as a home mechanic. Old Milwaukee is now. You talking about the wait? Hold on. Raccoon Man 60. Are you talking about the beer, or are you talking about are you talking about the tools? Because sure, old Milwaukee, the beer doesn't beat much. Tip twisted off at 5 foot-pounds. That's wait a minute. It does it at inch pounds. So I mean, if you're doing 5 foot-pounds with a 1/4 inch, yeah, it probably would. I don't think it goes that way. Let's see. Canadian Tire with Moto Master Tools. Full warranty the whole bit, but they have 3 different levels. Half the mechanics in Canada have the top level Motor Master Tools. Yeah, we don't have that here. I wonder who makes those. You can get Craftsman. I have. Oh, wait. This is good. You can get Craftsman replacements by contacting them directly. They usually ask for a photo of the damaged item and send you a new one. Okay, because I have a set. They built an adjustable lockjaw. Not channel vice grip. They had a semi-adjustable, fully floating vice grip that they sold a long time ago before they went out of stopped being Sears. And the damn thing broke on me, and I brought it to Lowe's, and they looked at me. So now you're saying I need to dig it up and see if they will replace it for me? I guess I'll do that now. Let's see. Everywhere you go in Dodge, you have a full mechanical kit in your trunk and the rest in your back seat. That's more. Yeah. No, G Canada. I drove to St. Petersburg and back at 75 miles an hour, and I was fine. Nothing happened. The car's fine. They're very reliable. Nah. It's my Ford truck that's been a problem lately. Yep. Yeah, G Canada. Yeah. We used to go to USA and get Old Milwaukee $3.99 $24. Yeah, that stuff was nasty. Old Milwaukee is a great parts cleaner. Yes, it is, Raccoon Man 60. That's all it's good for. Garax and Dennis, what language are you speaking? Chinese? Harbor Freight's only for old cheap guys. Yes, I am. I'm Sicilian. I'm an old Sicilian. Let's just be honest about this. I'm cheap. I literally am cheap. If I can get a deal, I will get it. I am cheap. I am not my grandfather who was straightening nails, but I still want a deal. And I've been very pleased. I have a Harbor Freight winch. That's literally what I use on my trailer is a Harbor Freight winch. It's fine. 12,000-pound winch. Sucks the car right up, puts the car back out. Works perfectly fine. It's great. It's heavy as hell though, but you know. What about else? 75 miles per hour, easy. No, I was actually getting past. This is Florida, man. This is Florida, and I was on a toll road. 75 is like not really moving. 75 is basically I'm in the right lane, trying not to have people run me over. That's literally what 75 is. Welcome to Florida. Mr. M, yes, I would. Are you volunteering? Because absolutely. I love having people on there. G Canada is welcome. His schedule's all screwy and he has his damn Blue Jays, but he's also welcome. You're welcome. I'm also working on hopefully I have one of my buddies that's associated with the 5150 guys too. So sure, absolutely. Send me an email. You can be on next week. We could talk about the SEMA. I don't know if you'll be around, but we'll talk about the SEMA fallout because it's going to be probably not so good. not so good. Ed Rooney. Thank you, Ed Rooney. Wait, no. Harbor Freight has changed a lot in the last 15 years. They still have cheap junk, but they also have real nice stuff. Yes. And honestly, I kind of touched on it in one of my videos that Harbor Freight had to fix their image. And because they were not going to survive selling stuff that was disposable. And you're not going to survive selling stuff that's disposable. It's just not going to work. So here's the thing. They have the leverage to go to their Chinese manufacturer, just like Apple. Apple makes most of their stuff in China. They have leverage to go, hey, the quality sucks. You need to do a little bit better. You have to do better. And they did, because at the end of the day, the Chinese communists are actually really great capitalists. They do really great capitalist things, which is weird. They're really horrible to the people, terrible to their people. But man, for business, sometimes they actually are not so bad, which is kind of weird. I find it strange, but that's the way. But yeah, they totally changed them. Frugal? No, I'm cheap. My daughter calls me cheap. She calls me cheap old guinea. That's what she calls me, because I am. I admit to it. Let's see. I know Raccoon Man 60. I know mechanics with 60K and Snap-on, and they drive a junker and live in a trailer. Make it make sense to me. I can't. I literally can't. That's like the people I see that live in apartments and are driving new Mercedes E-classes. Like or an M car. I'm like, you need to kind of figure this out and get a house. You need to stop paying rent and maybe get a house, because you really kind of you're not doing this right. So it's yeah. Let's see. I can't lie. I buy there too. Their 12,000-pound winch is the best. It's on sale for $289. Warren would have been 1,000. Hey, I'll make you jealous, Gary. Last year when they did Black Friday, I got it for $230. I know it has the metal rope on it, but I don't care. I can always upgrade it later, but it was $230. And then I bought the remote for it. It was on sale, so I got the remote for $30. So for $260, I have a remote, a long-range remote, a winch that can pull 12,000 pounds. Yeah, you can't beat that with a stick. You really can't. You really, really can't. Let's see. Tim Miller. I give Harbor a thumbs up. Air filter and water. It has same pneumatics. Brand 69 Buck Industry Rice was 4 times. Yes. uh, let's see. It's all about the chrome in that truck. It's like drugs to a druggie. Yeah, that Snap-on truck. I told you. And they have air conditioning, and their air conditioning is usually phenomenal. It's the coldest air conditioning you'll ever find. I mean, it's almost like they specially order those trucks to have air that'll make you freeze. No matter how hot it is, you'll actually be cold, and you'll be shivering in that truck. Yes. See, Canada gets it. China will make things as good as you are willing to pay for, especially firearms are done exceptionally well in China, the highest quality. Yeah. I mean, it's just like any other industrial country, because like Vietnam makes decent stuff. Argentina actually makes incredible firearms. You know, it's literally, if the money will be paid to them, they'll do the work to make it actually happen. It's something America used to do. Maybe we'll do it again. I don't know. Raccoon 60 man. Gary, those shiny wrenches will hypnotize. Absolutely. That and the cold air conditioning. And everything's white in there. So you have shiny, and it's like walking into the most beautiful showroom ever. Absolutely. I love that. Let's see. Tim Miller. What people think about a 93 Ram LE 1500? 93. All right. So that usually has front end problems. Ball joints go bad on those, but they're pain in the ass change. But if their change is fine, that could have a 360 in it. That'll have the weird transmission. The 508? It was the modified 727. It's an okay transmission for the 360 or 318. Those are roller engines. It's a good solid truck. You just got to watch the front ends on them, because they just they'll start wandering badly, and it's a pain in the ass to fix them. Everything's pressed, but I don't think it's a bad truck, especially those. Yeah, the overdrive. Yeah, the 727 with an overdrive. That's literally the only difference. But yeah, I would. I if it's the right price, because it has to be cheap. I mean, that's the thing, though. It's a Ram, so it has to be cheap, because, well, it's a Ram. So that one of those trucks, not a lot of mileage on it. Five. I mean, if it's in good condition, 5,000-6,000, sure, why not? I mean, it's going to be better than anything new you're going to buy, and especially if you can get it with a 360. The 360, once you modify it a little bit, that engine will pull whatever the hell you want. That's just the nature of the beast. And hell, if you're really industrious, you can go out and put a stick in that, get a 4-speed, maybe get one with a granny gear, and now you have something that's an animal. If you can get one of those 4-speeds with the granny gear and put it behind that engine, oh my God, you would be able to pull anything you want with that truck. I mean, it's just the way it is. But yeah, I would highly say that. Check for rust. Oh yeah, that's the thing with the Rams. You have to check for rust, and the front end. My friend had one of them, and he had to get rid of it because he didn't want to put the work in to fix the front end. The thing would actually go change lanes. Tim Miller runs good. Old guy, bow puller, patina clear. Oh, sure. I would, yeah, absolutely. Patina too? Sure. That means somebody actually cared. And if he was pulling, that means he actually took care of the engine. That's good. I mean, that's just kind of that's pretty good stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't pass on one of those. If you need a truck and something that can pull, yeah. And actually, those aren't that bad on fuel, because the roller rockers and floor for rust, that's where you have to check. I know that. But I mean, honestly, you can get you get decent fuel economy with it, because they're roller engines. You put a little mods on them, they have tons of horsepower, and especially 360 has tons of torque. Even the 318 at that point, you can put a little bit mod on that, and you can get a bunch of torque and probably 250 horsepower easily. Gary Axon, guys, do you think the Chinese are good at imitating or really good at engineering wise. I mean, they're good at copying. That's why every manufacturer that's gone over there has made an incredible mistake, because the Chinese is basically take the vehicle, take it apart, and reverse engineer it. They did that to BMW. In China, they sell like a stretched 5 Series, a stretched 7. They sell an X5, but they're Chinese brands. They were reverse engineered BMWs. They're just as good, from my understanding. And they will do that. They did the same thing to General Motors. They did the same thing to Stellantis. I don't know why you'd want to steal any of their stuff, but they did when it was Fiat. They did deal with them, and they've done it with everybody. So that's just kind of their. But like I said, they're kind of They're opportunist capitalist. You're doing business with them, you have to understand that you're going to have issues. So, let me check cheap Mopar parts. Yeah, good luck. There's no such thing as cheap Mopar parts. Yes, 4339 JK. Chinese do steal like the Japanese used to. Yep. Yeah. Well, the first Datsun sports cars were an absolute flat out steal of the MG. They literally just copied it, but made it actually run, and they sold a lot more of them. And and the same thing with the Sunbeam. They copied all those. I got a puzzle. They copied all those cars, and they made them better. Same thing with the motorcycles. They copied all the English motorcycles and basically put the English motorcycle business out of business. Oh, here we go. Oh, horror story. 06 Daewoo Lanos. Oh, Jesus. That I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. A Daewoo? Oh my God. That's unreal. Can you buy clone BMW motors, Tim Miller? Not in the United States legally, but they do make them there. Probably on the black market. But yeah. They do make copies of parts. And there has happened where Summit actually got counterfeit parts. And they didn't know they were counterfeit. They got fake parts from China. And they were cut rate. But yeah, they will clone anything. Raccoon Man 60, bring back the Pontiac 400 for torque. Absolutely. That Pontiac, the thing about that Pontiac engine is that the machine work, it was like jeweler. I've never seen another car company, even Cadillac, didn't do machine work like Pontiac did. I mean, you can put valve covers on there without a gasket, it won't leak. There's no slag in the engine. I mean, their numbers were true numbers because every one of those engines was done perfectly. Garrickson, Dennis, exactly. Cheap Italians and cheap Irish old guys are always right. No, I'm not always right. I'm just cheap. Guitars too. Yeah, I heard about that. They're copying the guitars. Let's see. Buy Mopar parts at LMC was cheap if Chevy was 3 times cost. Possibly. I don't know. I've never seen cheap Mopar parts. I literally have never seen cheap Mopar parts. But yeah. Oh, so one more news story I have. This is kind of interesting, and I get this is actually kind of interesting for all the truck buyers out there because we have a lot of people who like trucks. They're supposed to be coming out with a Ram mid-size truck with no details. I don't know if it's in 2 years, if it's in 3 years. Don't even know what it's going to be called. It's just we know that it's going to be built on the same plant that builds the Gladiator. That's all I know. It's going to be built in Toledo. It's not going to be built at Warren, which is weird. And they were supposed to do it at Belvedere, and they should be Bellevue. And that fell through, and they really screwed over everybody at Belvedere. They literally screwed those people over. The union got taken for a ride by Stellantis because that was part of the promise, was they were going to build stuff at Belvedere, and nothing is happening. So this truck allegedly is going to be built next alongside the Jeeps, and yeah, that it's going to be a 2028 model year, hopefully. So that means end of 2027. So it's 2 years from now. And in 2 years from now, I don't know. Is there going to be demand for this? And by then, Toyota's going to have all their small trucks out. Nissan will hopefully not be bankrupt and will have all their new, Frontiers and whatnot. And probably the Ranger's going to get another update. The Colorado's going to get another. So now they're coming into a market so late that literally even Honda has fixed the what's the Honda pickup truck? They literally are so far behind the curve that honestly, this thing would have to be like $10,000 cheaper and come with a Hemi in it to make it so that people would want it. I can't fathom. I just can't fathom, this thing's selling well. The color is beautiful. See, yeah, the color is beautiful. I mean, they picked the right color. The Ridgeline, thanks, Ed Rudy. Because the Ridgeline is actually, Honda realized that they screwed up with the original one and it wasn't truck enough. The new one is more truck. And so now this truck is going to be walking into the middle of that fight. And the Japanese have already won this battle. So I can't understand, why this is being such a big deal. I guess they have to tout something, but they are. It's actually kind of like too little too late. And I just don't understand it. This is why I think that they're going to split into two different companies. I can't see it staying this way. It's a middle-sized Ram like Chevy's made. Yeah, the Colorado. But the Colorado is already in its, second generation, third generation? And they sell a lot of those trucks. Gee, Canada. Dennis is driving a 72 Toyota Corolla. Monique, a 23 Acura. Oh, it's still riding the bus. Oh, you're talking about the Chinese one. Nothing wrong with a 72. Those Toyota Corollas, my God, those fours in those cars were indestructible. Those, what was that? The GR80? I forgot what it's called, but it's like the most indestructible thing ever. Tim Miller, I have a Maverick truck. Reminds me of the 80s Rangers. Yeah, it's the same size. Strangely enough, that Maverick, and that's why it's such a big hit. Because the new Rangers is a big truck. It's as big as the F-150 was in the 80s. We own one, and it was actually kind of big for it being a small pickup, and that's why they had to bring the Maverick out for people that just had small jobs, and it gets great fuel economy. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Kia and Hyundai are also coming out with pickup trucks. 4339 JK reminds me. Yeah. And yep. And see, Raccoon Man 60 2020 Tacoma V6. Yeah. But I mean, Toyota with the Tacoma has cornered that market, and they have one new one. I saw it in Europe. It has a weird name, and it's a little bit smaller, and the Hilux. And I think they're going to try to bring that to America. And if they do, they're going to crush the market. It looks like a mini Tacoma. And Stellantis is walking blind right into this. Oh, I see. My friends at Hemming would like to join your podcast. Absolutely. Send me the information. I'd love to talk to people from Hemmings. Absolutely. Love to talk about the old car market because it's getting weird. I haven't even been able to touch on it because it's gotten so weird. Prices are all over the place. On high-end stuff, it's collapsing. But you saw on the low-end stuff, it's actually holding up because now that's more affordable. Seems like 50,000 is like the limit now for stuff to keep its life. Stuff over 100, and then over 100, it's a whole nother level. But that stuff in between, it's not so good. Let's see. Gary Axon saw a Ram that was blue and black with big Mopar logo down the side. That's pretty cool. Yes, the Hilux is in Mexico. Yeah, and I saw one in of all places, Italy, because it's tiny over there. And I saw that truck and I went, yeah, this is gonna be this is gonna be a big deal. Uh, Garrickson, did you see Meekum today? Cars are coming down. Wait to buy. Actually, at the beginning of the show, I went over the Friday because there was, and you'll appreciate this. There was this car went over the block today. This 73 Rally. We went over it in insane detail, but this car sold for almost 29, which is cheap because it's a car that only has less than 30,000 miles on it, and it's a real 340 car. So it's last year to 340. It has a pretty high production number, 183, 243. It's pretty high up there. So, I mean, these cars are actually holding. I mean, that's kind of cheap for a car with this mileage on it. So maybe there is a little bit of weakness, but it also is Friday. It's hard to tell. Let's see. Tim Miller, he likes his Maverick. It's my retired truck, cheap, lasting on fluid chains. Keep playing again. Yeah, you can. If actually with the Fords, if you have, I think that has the 4-cylinder in it. As long as you maintain it, it's gonna keep going. I mean, Fords are real temperamental about maintenance. I mean, much more than a lot of other cars. You really have to be on top of the oil in them. And just the transmissions, you always have to be on top of the transmissions. It's just any modern car. But yeah, you'll get a lot of life out of that thing. Well, yeah, G Canada. Maverick is supposed to be a $20,000 truck. Now the cheapest is 30. The Hilux is the most indestructible vehicle on the planet, but I think they're all diesel. Most sold truck ever. Yeah, they're coming out with a gas version. I believe they're coming out with a gas version for the United States. And yeah, well, what happened is we have inflation, so that 20 became 30. I mean, the average price of a car now is 50 grand. I mean, seriously, the average price is $50,000. Gary acts 20,000 for a 66 Impala SS. Yeah, that's pretty cheap. But then again, not a lot of people like the 66. I mean, the 66. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I only have Dodge. But not a lot of people are let's see, why am I not doing it? Oh, view lots. But not a lot of people like that car as much. Let's see, 1966 Impala. Yeah, I mean, it's a big block car, but I mean, it's just not. This one hasn't sold yet, so this is a big block. 16,000 miles. We'll see what this one does. Doesn't say what engine. It says big block. Doesn't say which one. They had a few. Oh crap! It has a 427. This will be 6 digits. That will be 6 digits because of the engine in there. This one's only 24. Yeah, but look at it. It has a 327. It's a small. Has weird rims on it. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that made this car not sell that well, and those rims don't help. But it has 327 in it. Decent engines with the last year. Then has all this other stuff. Yeah, these cars don't sell that well. When you start modifying them like this, they don't sell. It's just the way it's been. 34 for a convertible, weird wheels. I mean, but then the earlier ones is what everybody wants. This one's not. This is going to be on Saturday, I guess. Yeah, Saturday. But that has 427 in it. This is going to be absolutely, lights out expensive. Same thing with this one. It's convertible. It's going to be lights out expensive. So, let's see. The red one. This one, the 66 with the 396 in it, 22. Yeah, I mean, people, I don't know. This Impala is just, I just don't think they have as big a pull as like a 65 and under. I think when it got, because they're pretty big and they're overshadowed by the Chevelles at this point, because the Chevelle was the performance car at this point. So, it just kind of, and this one is a 396 car. I mean, it's a nice car and somebody got a good deal. But Honestly, I don't see my Chevy friends going crazy over those cars. I mean, it's just one of those things. They're just kind of, yeah. I just don't see it. Yeah, vintage 76, they're gigantic. They're a full size car. Canada Ford hybrids are the best in America. Please find a North American car that is tougher than a Ford hybrid. No, the Ford hybrids are very well made. Ford actually approached it in a very sane fashion because they designed everything together to make it work together, like Toyota did with the Prius. Toyota designed that whole system together, and that's why it works so well. And Ford did the same thing. They made it so it was built together. Their trucks show me the power, the what is it called? The power, not the Power Stroke, the power boost shows me that they really, I talked about that before. Yeah, 64 and under. Ed Rooney for an Impala, 64 and under. Raccoon Man 60, younger generations, not. Yes, they are. Actually, I know quite a few people under 40 that have old cars and actually are working on them. There is an appreciation that is happening, and actually, when they start getting a little bit of money, this is what they want because this is what their parents had. So there's always going to be a market for it. Trust me, there's always going to be a market for it. It's not that bad, and when they're done playing with the disposable stuff, they're going to want one of the old cars. 71 black GTO for low 30s. Well, depends. See, if it's not a Ram Air one, yeah, it's not. And you don't know, there might be something wrong with it. Let's see. The only Impala I like is the 96. Oh my God, the bathtub. Good Lord. Ford was, yes, Ed Rooney. Ford was aggressively trying to be better than Price. Yeah, they succeeded. I honestly think they succeeded because I mean, even though Toyota was first, Toyota still builds an incredibly great product. But I mean, I never hear anybody I knew people that had the C-Max, and they were sad when they stopped making it because they loved that vehicle that much. Because you know what? At the end of the day, it was exactly what somebody would need. It had plenty of room, and it got great fuel economy, and it was, whatever. So for the average person, it's not better. Yeah, probably, but they're also more expensive. Yes, Benjamin. In Canada, they don't have horsepower; they have moose power. Correct. That's a lot more, though. See, that's the thing. It's 1.5 mooses per horse. G Canada, the Ford hybrids were a complete rip off a Toyota system. They had to pay Toyota a lot in court. In court, the entire hybrid line is 100% in the USA. That's why it's better quality than the Mexican. Well, yeah. Even though when I buy replacement parts, I see Heche and Mexico. I am absolutely happy to see that because I actually know I have half a chance that it's actually not going to be bad. Jamie, there's such a nostalgia for old cars. Yes. Yes, and especially stuff from the 60s Ford because it has more of a modern touch. You have safer brakes on it. You have valve trains and stuff that are very reliable, easily to repair. I mean, even carburetors, if you just take a little bit of time to understand how they work, it's not that hard. And you'll have a pretty reliable car. I mean, if you put up a fuel injection on it, fine, because then you'll have something that's high puzzle. You're tangled in my wires, puzzle. Everybody, puzzle my cat. Okay, over here, puzzle. Thank you. All right, yeah. So 2025 Ford. Yeah. I mean, honestly, with the hybrids they were building, their cars. They don't make any cars anymore. They only make a Mustang. But when they were making them, they were good. Yeah, that's my cat, Puzzle. She's always around me. On the other podcast, she's has her own camera because she's that type of cat. Yeah. I have another cat named Supercharged Turbo Demon. Yes, he's named after a car because he was found in an engine compartment and he's psychotically fast and he's psychotic, which you would have to be to have a supercharged turbo demon. Even though I was at Mo Party, yes, Jamie, Puzzle is part of the show. You know, at Mo Party, I did have that family next to me that had turbocharged a turbocharged uh Hellcat, and the turbo regulator went off the chain because the vacuum line came off, and it had 25 pounds of boost, and it blew the intake manifold off the car. So yeah, it was not good. It was very, very, very bad. So yeah, you have to be a little crazy. So yeah, but yeah, next week we'll be talking about this and hey, if I can add those guys from Hemmings, sure. I like to talk about the old car hobby at this point, because Hemmings does a lot of great articles on. I actually view some on old cars. They really are analyzing the market pretty well. And yes, Benjamin, supercharged Turbo Demon is the Gary Busey of cats. Gary Axon, nice mascot. Animals are better than humans. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. All right, good night, Vintage 76 Garage. I'm looking forward to next video. Cool. But yeah, so yeah, next week I'll be talking about my Gartlets. I'll probably have some videos from that, hopefully, if everything goes right. And I have we'll be talking about this auction because it's going to be completed, and there's a lot of neat stuff. And get out of here, G Canada, with your cat stuff, please. I love cats. I can leave for 10 days, just have somebody feed them all. Come back, and they're still happy to see me. So we're going to be talking about this auction because this auction has a lot of nice stuff in it. And because it's the first big auction for a while. And we'll be talking about this Resto Mod. We'll talk about this Resto Mod Demon that keeps Super B that keeps on trying to get sold, that just won't sell. And this guy's going to have to bite the bullet and just take that interior and throw it in the garbage and put a real interior in the car. Thank you, Mr. M. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a real Shelby KR. I mean, that's going to come out on Saturday. A lot of stuff on Saturday. So a lot to talk about next week because there's a lot of stuff here. A replica of a 500K. Oh my God, an AMG GLC 63S. Holy mackerel. I can't wait to see how that goes for. That's on Saturday. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Oh, a 71 GTX. Wow. In red. Nice. Oh, this is going to be something to talk about, because this will really be a good gauge for the market. 88,000 miles, because these GTXs are mid, these are $50,000 cars. There are not a lot of them. It's a GTX. People like this body shape on the GTX. And this is an all original car. No, I don't know what numbers they're matching. Oh, well, they put Mickey Thompson valve covers, but they still painted them race Hemi orange. Okay, fine. Or Hemi orange, street Hemi. It looks in good knack. I see a fender tag. I can't read it, which sucks. But this is a pretty nice car. It has yeah, it has manual brakes, it has power steering, but manual brakes. Yeah, so this was a go fast car. Slapstick. Somebody's butchered the door panels. That's going to hurt this car a little bit. But yeah. So the VR6. Oh, that's an engine. That engine was that VR6. They had that in the I believe in the Scirocco. If I'm maybe wrong, but I get a little confused on Volkswagens. All I know is the damn things are fast. Then they screamed. I mean, absolutely screamed. Oh, I want pictures of all Max wedges, please. Say hello to Big Daddy. Oh, absolutely. And there will be Max wedges there. There will be definitely Max wedges there. In fact, I will see what Don has in his garage, because usually he just has Hemis, though. He's Mr. Hemi. The Corrado, that's what it was. Yeah, I should have realized from the picture that car was a beast. What a shame, man. They stopped making it. What a beast that car was. And the Golf. Yep, the 439. That engine is just an absolute screamer in that little car. Absolute screamer, so much torque. Uh, at least G Canada feeds his cats good food. He gives them rotisserie chicken. Good. Make sure you give them some giblets every once in a while. They need the guts in the inside. Okay, so I think that we've had a very successful show. I'm glad everybody came. I will let everybody know how my Gartlett's adventures go. I'll post a video hopefully on Tuesday this week, unlike I did this week on Wednesday because I couldn't make a video I liked. That was literally the problem. I wrote like 4 scripts. I recorded 2 other whole videos for 20 minutes, and I hated them. And so hopefully, go check out my thing on carburation, especially UG Canada. Maybe you'll learn something. So and tell your friends and hit the like. If you're unsubscribing, hit the subscribe. Share this thing. Share the replay. Hey, hype it. Give me the hype. Because I'm just a small YouTube creator trying to make my hobby pay for itself. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do is make my hobby pay for itself, so I can keep my cars running and have fun, and then share the fun with everyone. So thank you, and yes, thank you, Mr. M. You appreciate my knowledge. Yeah, I have a lot of useless. I guess it's useless car knowledge. It's just almost too much, and I forget things too. Like I forgot that there's different. That Chrysler's technically used the same reluctor on the big and the RB and the LA engines, but my car doesn't have that, so I just forgot all about it because my car basically is a stock distributor. Chrysler made it so it only go in one way, and it can't go any other way. So, all right. As always, if you have a cool old car or something fun to drive, take it out. You'll make someone's day. It'll probably be your own because it's happened to me many time. And I will catch everybody very soon, at least next week on Thursday, but probably sooner in a video coming right to you. All right. Say goodnight, Gracie. Yay. 6,000 high beam carburation. Good. Good. Then I hope the Jays win just because it's the Dodgers. Good. How'd you like me saying that? All right. Good night, everybody. If you liked what you saw, subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for watching to this point. And as always, if you have a cool car or something fun to drive, take it out. You'll make someone's day, probably your own. If you liked what you saw, subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for watching to this point. And as always, if you have a cool car or something fun to drive, take it out. You'll make someone's day, probably your own.